Eagle has landed.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
Welcome back to Uganda's favorite comedy podcast, American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And right alongside him, I'm Jesse. I think we lost that title. I don't know. I'll back you up. Either way.
Dude, don't fucking turn on me on air. We're Uganda's favorite comedy podcast, dude. Woo!
I can't. After all we've been through on our latest Patreon, how could I? We finally, answered the age-old question. Can you taste with your nuts? And I think the definitive answer is, well, I guess you're gonna have to listen to the episode if you're.
You gotta go check it out. Yeah, we did. We don't know if we tasted it or not. You're gonna have to listen. I mean, you'll see the whole process. It's crazy. It's ridiculous that we even did it, but we did it, and it's out.
It was that plus a little bit of bizarre news. So for all of our Patreon listeners, all our Patreon slackers that we love so much, please go listen to that because we had an interesting time recording that episode. It's not a video episode.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, video, I mean, would be a little sketchy. I mean, there was nuts.
We're trying to get our YouTube going. We're not trying to get banned immediately.
Yeah, we're trying to get on YouTube, not like PornTube, you know?
Yeah. We also got some new merch. Matt has one of our new mugs sitting in the background there.
I love it, dude. You can't tell right now, but this bad boy is a magic mug that it goes completely white, like the inside. So as soon as it gets hot, boom, baby. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see that sweet-ass logo, but it looks glorious when it's hot.
Matt's going to sit on that mug and warm it up for the whole show so that by the end of it, we can show you what that looks like.
Or I'm just going to put a photo right, like...
That's probably easier.
Yeah. So you can check it out. And one more thing I wanted to address, Jesse. One more thing. Somebody left a dislike on one of our brand new fucking gorgeous YouTube videos.
I know, you've been working so hard and you're getting hate already.
Dude. We never get hate.
Not for nothing. There's a lot more likes than dislikes coming our way.
But still, somebody disliked Chicken Snoop for the Soul.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
I mean, come on, dude. That was a great episode. It was a great name for an episode. I got a theory. Might be Snoop Dogg. I don't know.
Could be.
Just saying.
And if that's the case, whoever you are, Snoop Dogg or not, we do implore, or we want you to reach out to us.
Yeah,
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Let us know what we did. Why we make you mad?
We're always trying to improve over here. We're open to suggestions. And then for everyone else that, does enjoy our stuff, please go like our videos so that, these one dislikes that we get are much more outweighed by the support and likes of the slacker community.
Yeah, man. I'm butthurt over it.
He's
I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta drop him a few likes. You gotta cheer Matt up so he keeps making this awesome content.
Yeah, guys, cheer me up, please.
All right, so we're gonna get into our bizarre news, but we always like to start out our weird news with a little bit of weed news.
Weed news.
Yeah, it was close. I feel like I was gonna flub it, but I rolled it. I rolled into it.
I think this is 2 weeks. Two consecutive weed news weeks.
I'll put it on the board. I'm supposed to do that each time. That's what the protocol suggests. So we're 2 weeks. And we're going to throw that on the bed. All right. At least I capped it this time.
Nice.
All right. We're headed over to Colorado. One of the founding states of marijuana legalization. And they're under a little bit of pressure right now because someone's putting forth a ballot measure that would get rid of marijuana legalization in Colorado.
What? They're trying to cancel it out after all the revenue, all of the setup and everything?
Yes.
What kind of dumbass is doing this?
They basically want to repeal the amendment that had been put onto the Colorado state constitution, I believe. That it was Article XVIII, so I believe that's 18. Section 16 of the Colorado Constitution, personal use and regulation of marijuana. They want it repealed. And they would say that the medical marijuana and industrial hemp laws would not change. It's very loosely worded. It's only like 4 sentences. And I don't believe it has much backing based on this Marijuana Moment article. They're saying it doesn't have much backing, but that's still kind of scary to see that people are actively working against legalization in states, cornerstone states like Colorado.
Yeah, if they fall, what happens to everything else? The progress is like fucked, dude. I mean, we're gonna see a difference in states falling, you know?
Which is why I wanted to bring this to everyone's attention, like via the cannabis news segment, because we cover a lot of like, hey, oh, this state just went medical or this state just went legal, but we don't see a lot of this, and it's important to look out for it. Like I said, there's not much support from what the Marijuana Policy Project director says. They also are quoted saying it would kill jobs, destroy businesses, and deprive the state of tax revenue, and restore injustice in the prohibition, and restore the injustice of prohibition, which basically says, you know, making weed illegal again isn't going to be great for everyone.
Yeah, man. I mean, it seems impossible to reverse it now. I mean, with how Colorado is, I mean, it's the premier state for taxation, like benefits. Like the model is just making every other state fold. I think realistically, when they see how much money they're pulling in, how could you not? I mean, people are going to do it on the black market regardless. Why not pull it on the legal market, make money, make it safer for people?
Yeah, making it safer overall, I think, is like the most important thing, and not throwing people in jail for it, because then they're not A, having their rights taken away, and B, being a burden on, you know, the taxation of everyone else. So
yeah.
Another interesting thing out of this is Pew Research Fact Tank tweeted out that 2/3 of Americans say that marijuana use should be legal, reflecting a steady increase over the past decade. And they showed a little chart on their tweet here that shows, you know, the increase from 1969 to 2019. And it's completely reversed. In 69, it was 84% said it should be illegal and 12% said it should be legal. And now last year in 2019, it said 67% said it should be legal and 32% said it should be illegal.
Yep. Tides are turning, man. It's good to see.
Even if you look at that same chart from about the time that we were born, you know, 88, 89, 16% said it should be legal and 81% said it should be illegal. Like,
yeah, we're talking the era of this is your brain on drugs, though, too, with that fucking egg and omelet fucking commercial, right? You know, like, so everybody had the wrong impression. We were lied to.
But to see like the progression, even just within our lifetimes, of going from 16% to 67% saying it should be legal is like a hell of a lot of progress.
Hell of a lot. Yeah, you're not kidding, man.
And most of that's not on our backs, because, you know, we were like 10 and like teenagers when most of this was being pushed through.
It's all the dudes, you know, Jack Herrera, like all the dudes in Cali that were fucking going to prison left and right to fucking to make a stand. And I mean, those are the people that are the heroes, unsung heroes, really, in our fucking, you know, well, not our industry, but in the industry,
in the culture,
our industry. But yeah, like we can't help but feel involved. I mean, we really we enjoy marijuana. We really authentically do, for many reasons, not just to use it as a drug, but I mean, it makes you feel better if you have pain. I mean, there's so much more to it than just it's a fucking recreational drug. And I think that's one of the things we love, you know, talking about is like why it should be legal. And it's so stupid. I know this whole thing just pisses me off, seeing somebody like backbutt, like go against
trying to backpedal.
Yeah. Man,
it's and you know, on top of what you said with all those reasons, another reason would just be the injustice of people being put in jail because of it and having their lives ruined. Like, I think if people were being put in jail for having chocolate chip cookies, we would probably have the same stance that we do with cannabis.
They kill you.
It's like if it's not hurting anything or anyone, you know, you shouldn't have your life ruined over it.
Dude, so words of the Beatles, let it be, baby.
There you go. So if you want to read a little bit more from this Marijuana Moment article, we'll be posting it up on Thursday on our Facebook page. So make sure to check that out. Another little update on our last regular episode. I had done a cannabis article about how weed's going to save the bees. And I found a little bit of an update, a rebuttal to that, from someone who has been involved in apiaries and beekeeping for over 30 years. And they said, you know, there's not enough nutrition in cannabis pollen for the bees. Bees are smart, and they will kind of weigh the distance versus nutrition value, and they will go to a flower that's further, even further than from the hive than a cannabis plant, just because of the nutritional value of the pollen of the flower over the cannabis plant.
Huh. Okay,
So
so
it's
most
kinda-
likely they're gonna skip it.
Cannabis pollen is probably like the junk food of bee diets, essentially, is what it sounds like. It's not much nutritional value for like what you're getting out of it. And that had a lot to do, he said, from the evolution of the cannabis plant using wind to spread its pollen, as opposed to flowers, which have evolved alongside bees to pollinate using like insects. Making it,
Interesting. Makes
having
sense.
to be more nutritious.
There's
and
no real
more
nectar,
attractive.
sugary nectar. Yeah.
Right. So thought that would be an interesting little update. We got two sides of it, and I thought that'd be kind of important. I'm not going to post that one up, but if you do want to know, that one is from mugglehead.com. You can go mugglehead.com/hemp-doesn't/help-bees. So they're making a claim there that it's not as good as it sounds.
Oh man, no good, man. I was hoping the bees were loving the hemp, and
I mean, they could still eat. They could be vegging out. Go get a little stoned and just eat your weight in cannabis pollen.
Maybe use the hemp to make a nice little hemp house. It's
Or
a great
hat.
structural.
That'd be adorable.
Man, well, let's move along to Philly. We're going to talk about one of the most important investigations to come out of 2019.
Oh my God!
All right, and we're talking about Gritty. And if you're not familiar with Gritty, Gritty is the Philadelphia Flyers' beloved, hairy, ugly frat boy quoted looking fucking mascot. And he does
like
kind of he's
a
kind
mix
of
of Donkey Kong and Henry Zabrowski.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, he resembles Henry really well with all that orange hair. So apparently Gritty at the end of 2019 was at a meet and greet. He was introduced to a kid, and I don't know how this happened, but apparently Gritty's known for being a little bit of a bully type character.
Okay.
And he is quoted as saying he went running as hard as he could and punched a kid in the chest.
Holy fuck.
I don't believe it, because I feel like a full-grown man punching a kid would really fucking murder the kid. But and the dad is pretty upset, and the dad he's got some clout, man. He's a 22-year season ticket holder. So like he's a dude that's there every year for the last fucking 2 decades, spending a fortune on tickets for every game.
Longer than Gritty's been around.
So Gritty's. What did he come in? I think he came in 2018.
2 years ago, yeah.
2018. And he was immediately made fame because I guess Antifa and like a bunch of like different groups were like pissed off for some reason with the whole deal. So it helped.
Oh my God.
Bring the controversy to the media.
Well, then he just looks like a fucking hacky sack that someone threw googly eyes on.
Dude, yeah. It's some kind of Cousin It type deal. It's really ugly. This guy is really. He wasn't blessed. He was whipped.
It's like the result of a gumball that you spat onto a barbershop floor. That thing is disgusting.
And he kind of looks like one of those dudes that's just always lost. He's never present. He's never there. He just kind of goes around.
So did he punch this child?
So, within investigation, the authorities have come to a standing. He did not intentionally harm the kid. He might have knocked him over, but he didn't. There was no reason to believe that he actually just assaulted a young child.
Do you think this is a cover-up?
I don't know, man. I don't think it is. The mascot's new.
Bully.
He is a bully character. It could be you might be onto something now. Now that I think about it, he's a bully-like character. Maybe they want to protect it. I don't know, dude. Apparently, the son had to go to see a chiropractor, and the chiropractor told him, the dad, that he did have some muscular and spinal damage.
He gave him the old Gritty back diagnosis.
Dude, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
You got Gritty back.
Either way, I'm on Gritty's side. That kid shouldn't be a bitch. He should just tough it up.
Take the hit.
Take the hit, kid. It's fucking Gritty. You know what you're getting into. He's a fucking bully character. Don't go meet Gritty if you can't handle a fucking thumping or two, all right?
They say don't meet your heroes. I think this is a perfect example.
Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right, because your hero might just kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, seriously. We're moving on to another attack. It's a violent world out there, and even when you try to help, sometimes you might end up harming someone. In this case, where a neighbor ended up shooting a man with a crossbow in Massachusetts while trying to stop dogs from attacking him.
Crossbow is the best like means of defense against a dog attack. I'm just gonna say it.
We got a Daryl Dixon out here thinking he's gonna solve the problem by putting down a pooch with a fucking arrow. Dude. And it ends up leaving a man dead. So the way this played out, at least from the officer's perspective, is they arrived on the scene to see two mature pit bulls fighting. And when the officers got out of the car, the animals came at them. They unfortunately had to put the animals down. They followed the trail of destruction up into a home where they found a man who had been barricaded in a room, and he had the arrow essentially stuck in him, and he was dead.
What did the guy shoot him through a crack in the window or some shit? Like what?
Well, supposedly, from what it looks like, the neighbor came running in with the crossbow, took a shot at the dogs when they were like trying to break down like into the room, and it went through the door into the guy.
Oh my God, dude, that's horrible.
Trying to help. Just trying to help. Just trying to help. Just throwing that out there.
This is when just trying to help goes horribly wrong. Think about that next time you try to help somebody, all right?
They even called the guy a good Samaritan, and they said he's working with authorities and that he didn't mean to, and it's the death is being ruled as an accident.
Or was it?
I don't know if I call
cover-ups.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I call this guy a good Samaritan.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
Good Samaritan.
Maybe are they roommates?
It said a neighbor. So I'm guessing the person lived in another house. The other interesting thing is they said that they also found a child in a nearby room who was unharmed. And I'm wondering if the child was the neighbor or if the neighbor's a separate person.
Oh, it's not clear. I wonder. Imagine if it was a kid, because that would make sense.
That would make a lot more sense. I know whenever minors are involved, they can't really say who it is, which is why they might have put the neighbor instead of taking a name. So that's all speculation. Either way, a man's dead, two dogs are dead, and someone killed someone with a crossbow. Pretty fucking bad day in Massachusetts. I'm gonna say
pretty fucking gnarly day. If I was to say, that's pretty crazy, man. How many crossbow deaths happen across the country a year?
I don't know. I could get you a number on that while
that's crazy.
You introduce the next story.
Yeah, man. I mean, dogs, crossbows. I don't know. You know, you would think it's a good way to hunt them, but I don't know, man.
Oh my
Seems
God.
like maybe more of a way to hunt bears, you know?
This is not how I wanted you to stall.
Well, you know, I mean, we're talking about hunting with crossbows, you know? You got to hunt something. I mean, this guy hunted the most threatful fucking creature on earth, human. So what do we... You value dogs over humans, bro? What's up?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
All right, well, let's move on to the next story where we're going to keep talking about puppies. Or are we? We're talking about a box of puppies that showed up at a guy's house in Camden, North Carolina. And apparently he couldn't keep them. So he called the authorities and said, hey, somebody left this box of dogs on my porch when I just went to the post office real quick. So he was gone a matter of minutes. He comes home to the dogs. Cops show up and they go, hey, dude, these aren't fucking dogs. They're bear cubs. The guy has
cubs. How do you mistake dogs for bear cubs?
That's what I'm saying. Look at these fucking dude. They are not dogs at all. They have long snouts. They got claws. Like they're little babies, but dude, you can clearly tell that's no dog, dude. They're cute as fuck.
I was gonna say it looks. I guess if you don't know what like a puppy looks like because these are really small. These almost look like they kind of do look like day old or like couple days old puppies.
If you don't look at the face, yeah. But when you look at the face, they look more like a rat than a puppy. I mean, long nose like that and shit. It's really weird.
I would be a little freaked out because I'd be like, how, like, that doesn't quite look like a dog. I don't know. I would think dog, though. My first instinct would not be bear.
Yeah. Yeah, not at all, man. I mean, yeah, like, how often does a bear cub show up? True. Apparently, North Carolina, black bears are really popular. They're around a lot. But, I mean, it's never been recorded that they show up at your house in a box like that. Like the fucking, like what is it? The classic like Kid in the Stewart like type deal with the fucking what is that bird that drops the kid,
Oh, the stork?
Stork, thank you. Oh my God, I was trying to blank on that. It's like a stork fucking dropped them off, It's so weird.
What's he talking about?
Like, I don't know why the person that had them didn't just call an animal rescue if they did figure it out. I mean, if they were puppies, they probably wouldn't have dropped them. They had to have known they were bears, you know?
Yeah, that's very odd. And why leave it at this specific guy's house? That might just be sheer coincidence that he ended up with them.
Yeah, man. To me, the real story was how the fuck did these bears get in a box and get there? And they have no idea. Luckily, they're handling it well. They sent them to a wildlife resource commission, and the bears will be brought back to health, made sure they're all right, and then they'll be released when they're old enough to survive on their own in the wild.
Okay,
So that's good.
I'm gonna throw a hypothetical out there for you.
Okay.
A hunter is out in the woods, shoots a bear out of season, doesn't realize it was a mother bear, and sees the cubs there, is like, fuck, I don't want to murder baby bears.
It's a very
puts them in a box, drops them at the nearest house.
That's a very good point. I like a very good thought. I think it could be true because bears obviously are out of season right now because they're hibernation.
Right.
So you're right on the dot with that. I mean,
right. Otherwise, why would you bring it to like you said, a rescue or call rescue yourself?
They ask you where'd you get them, you know?
Exactly,
and you're like, I just found them.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah, because I mean, in the article,
you normally don't just find baby bears. Normally, the mother's with them, especially when they're that small. Like that's not even like a dude, like what I picture.
They can't even walk.
Bears. Those are like literally infant bears.
Yeah, honestly, it looks like the scenario of how that guy and his son shot the mom in the fucking den that one time last year. I don't know if you know about this, but there was a gentleman and his son. They fucking went into a den of a hibernating bear, shot the mother, didn't realize there was cubs, shot the cubs too. And they didn't know there was a fucking wildlife camera from the fucking DEC right on the fucking cave because they wanted to monitor the bears. So they were all on camera doing this shit. So I mean, you could be right, dude. I mean, these could have been in hibernation with their mom, and fucking somebody went into a den and shot them. You know,
that would be my guess, just because of the fact that it wasn't the person that found it was why would you ditch a box of bears?
Box of bears, dude.
Unless they really don't like that person, it's like a long game. It's like those bears are gonna grow up.
Keep these bears until they get old enough to eat them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a long game fucking con, dude. Yeah.
There's not a lot going into that one. All right. So we are moving on to Wichita Falls, Texas, where a woman was pulled over and decided to roll the dice on giving a fake name. Unfortunately, the fake name that she gave had a warrant.
Dude, that's like the opposite of hitting the lottery.
Right? It's like, damn it. I have a theory on this one too, but we'll go over it here. So on January 15th, officers pulled over a vehicle that failed to use a turn signal. After the vehicle was stopped, both passenger and driver were detained because the officers saw something fly out of the passenger's window. So they're probably ditching drugs or something. Mm-hmm. And when the passenger was later identified, the passenger was later identified, but the name she gave at the stop was Porchala Strawn.
Stripper name.
Well, I was thinking that must be someone you know.
That's not a fucking John Smith.
That's not a Sally Smith or John Smith or whatever. That's like someone you're trying to get someone fucked over. Yeah,
dude. That is like your third cousin that you hate or some shit. Like That is weird.
Someone you got a vendetta with. So when they check the records, they're like, oh, Porchala Strawn's got a outstanding warrant. So they arrest her, and then when they were taking her to jail, she's like, hey, it's not my real name. So she gave her actual name, which is actually the same last name. So that's not a good move either. If you're going to do fake name, pull full fake.
Wait, it was the same last name?
Same last name.
It's her cousin, bro. I'm telling you. It's his third cousin. They got some beef going on.
It's got to be someone you know.
Or they maybe Facebook. They were like, who has my same name? And they saw that one day, and then they were like, I'm going to use that for now.
Right. Just put it in the bank for later. So they pulled up hers, and she had 5 warrants for her arrest.
Only 5, dude. Only 5. Don't worry. That's not
the other one had 1, but one's enough.
Dude, she should have stuck with the name, dude. Could have got out there quicker.
Way quicker.
Damn, man. I just the whole name game. It's so funny when people give up fake names like that because it's like, don't you have to have other info like your license number and shit, your birth date and all that? I mean,
if you say you don't have it on you, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like, what's your birth date? Good luck guessing that if you don't know the fucking person.
It's like, I don't know.
They definitely got to ask some questions.
It's not important to me.
Important. I never had a birthday.
Age is just a number, officer.
Man, yeah, people are fucking crazy, man. I love it. I love hearing about these ridiculous stories, just like the one we're walking into right now, where we're talking about a 36-year-old registered sex offender who's on a nice little bicycle ride, right? Innocent guy, obviously, just taking a bicycle ride through the town. That's when he encounters a young lady on the stroll, if you know what I'm talking about.
He should not be near her. I'm already going to put that out there.
Good observation. Well, he approaches her, and that's when he asks her how much would it be for a sexual encounter. And apparently, she was a lady of the night. So she, told him a price. They agreed on it, but he said, hey, listen, I'm not getting paid till Friday and I can't afford it right now. So can I get your number and I'll call you on Friday and then I'll enjoy your services then? Well, the lady looks at him. She's like, what do you got in that bag there in your hand? And he happened to be carrying a bag of food from Chili's, a couple of burgers.
Okay.
And he's like, I got a burger in here. She's like, that'll do. And so he's like, oh, what? My burger will do? And he gladly accepts, dude. Barters a burger for a BJ or something. I don't know. And that's when he realized.
It's a new program for the community.
That's when he realized he fucked up because the young lady happened to be an undercover police officer with the Albuquerque Police Department.
Beef Brigade, get on the ground.
Dude. To me, this is just the worst kind of entrapment. Like, the guy didn't have the money on him. It's like, what do you got? Give me whatever you got in your pockets and I'll fucking take it to arrest your ass. So
it could have been like a baseball card. It could have been
anything.
I'll take the other half of that Coke you're drinking.
What if he just like pulled it? He's like, what do you got in your pockets? He just like pulled out pocket lint and they're like, that'll do.
That'll work. That's enough to arrest you.
Yeah. I've been collecting lint. That'll do. Man, it's just unfortunate. This guy, I mean, he is a sex offender, so he's probably a piece of shit anyway. But there is, sometimes people get put on a sex offender list for stupid shit like pissing in public or, having sex with their significant other.
Not to defend the guy, but it almost seems as if like they know exactly where he is and how to get him.
Dude, I mean, like, when you're doing these kind of stings, you're going to get the same type of people. I mean, it's not uncommon.
It's like, we see him coming out of Chili's. Yep, he's got burgers to barter. Let's get him. Book that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the top people in the community are cruising for prostitutes on the street, Yeah.
So I mean, well, that's true. They order them like from an app or something, probably.
Yeah. You get high class sluts after that. I mean, let's be real. We all order them online. Come on.
So that's an interesting way. It's probably the first burger to get anyone thrown in jail.
I knew you were going to say that. It is not, sir. No. It is 100% not. I've got a couple documented cases in 2018, 2016, 2014, all with fucking burgers, dude.
Wow.
Actually, the last one, 2014, was a chicken dinner. But the other ones, dude, one was a McDonald's quarter pounder, and the other one was just another unnamed burger.
Are people just carrying around all these meals ready to exchange them for sexual favors?
I don't know. Maybe they think they're not going to get in trouble. It's not money. I'm just giving her food for. It's still prostitution.
Yeah, it's still prostitution. Well, it's an exchange of services, is what it is.
Yeah, I was surprised to see there were so many of them. It's so funny.
Same thing they get people on hitchhiking for.
Man, yeah, true.
Solicitation of services.
Yeah, I'm not for the entrapment thing. Like that show that used to leave the cars out unlocked for people to steal, and then the cops were right there watching it, like shit like that.
Bait car, bait bike.
Yeah, dude. Like the cops were doing bait fucking car long before anybody was doing it on YouTube. And it's just entrapment, man. Honestly, you're creating a scenario that wouldn't have existed otherwise.
People have said the same thing about To Catch a Predator too, but it is really funny when Chris Hansen goes, why don't you take a seat?
Predators, I don't mind because they're fucking preying on people in a way that's a little different. It's physically preying on people versus stealing, which I account for mental illness type deals. I don't know,
Right.
But who might have? It's all bias, I guess, realistically.
It's interesting to see people get put away for soliciting services with food because you think a lot of times, giving someone food, it's like, oh, I scratch your back, you suck my dick later. Like,
yeah, I've heard that one before.
You don't think you would end up in jail over like giving someone a PB&J, but if it's a PB and BJ,
Dude,
it's going to be a different. It's going to be a different scenario.
Locked up.
Locked
Illegal.
up.
Illegal.
They get making that crunchy butter.
Dude. Keep that to this. So.
All right, so we have a guy that doesn't give a fuck for our funny clip of the week.
He really doesn't, dude. I'm just going to say this guy does not give any fucks.
Any particular reason you parked like within 8 inches next to me? Is there any reason why you parked this close to me?
Is there any reason you took 2 stalls?
Yeah, because I didn't want you to scratch my $100,000 car.
Oh,
$100,000 car.
I don't give a fuck.
Could you please move?
When I'm done eating,
Listen, asshole. Listen, asshole.
Oh, double asshole.
Double
card.
asshole.
oh what?
You don't want to fuck with me.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Fuck you.
Okay.
You're a fucking asshole.
Oh. So,
All right,
I'm
can
the
we just
asshole
say?
for parking in 1 stall?
Total fucking asshole.
Let him finish. Hold on.
No, minor.
All right. Can we just say, as a man, if somebody's talking to you like that and they're fucking stuff in their face still, you really know they don't give any fucks.
Oh my God, he had a mouthful of fries just
Dude.
throwing disrespect in that other guy's direction.
Ultimate intimidation factor. If you're ever about to get into like a little squabble with somebody, just start stuffing your face and talking shit, and they are going to be intimidated. I guarantee it.
The double listen asshole definitely got me a little bit there. It's just like if you have to say listen asshole twice, like just don't say it, because
That asshole ain't listening. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, nah, man. He was cool and calm, and that's what I appreciate most about this guy. He was just like, fuck you in your $100,000 car. You shouldn't park like an asshole. I don't care how expensive your car is.
Yeah, right.
That's the truth, dude. Like, fuck you and your fucking car. Keep it in the garage if you're worried about scratching it. All right?
Peasant power. That's all I'm saying. So we're
Rise
gonna
up
post this
against the 1%, people. Woo!
We're gonna post this up on our Facebook so that you can join the revolution on Friday, and make sure you check that out. Make it Friday a little bit funnier.
Fuck yes. Do it, people. Get into the revolution, the slacker revolution. Let's fucking do it. All right,
Burn
we're
it
getting ready
down.
to we're getting ready to wind down a little bit. We're going to talk about some Valentine's Day appropriate movies, but before we do that, let's take a quick break.
Support for American Slacker comes from Manscaped, who's the #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
I don't know about you, Jesse, but I am sick and tired of being outmatched by these razors and traditional trimmers that you get in the store, and no matter what, they fucking snag your nuts.
That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. They have a Lawnmower 2.0 razor, which they have sent our way, has a proprietary skin-safe technology, so you won't get those nicks or snags on your nuts.
Nice! Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past.
Yeah, and with our 20% off code plus free shipping, you're going to be saving a bunch of money and getting some great products that won't end up making it look like a war zone down there.
All you got to do is enter Slackers at checkout. Manscaped.com. 20% off. Get your anti-chafing ball deodorant, your sweet Lawnmower 2.0. Your nuts will thank you later.
You can even rep them by getting yourself a Manscaped.com t-shirt. So head on over to Manscaped.com, 20% off at checkout, enter code SLACKERS.
Get your ball swag here.
Oh yeah, it's time to party, you fuckers.
And we are back. It's time to talk about a couple movies to enjoy the holidays with your significant other, with your romance, maybe your little friends with benefits. I don't know. You know, maybe you're just going to get in the mood.
Maybe you're trying to work into that.
Maybe you're trying to break out of that friend
relationship.
zone, dude. The horrible friend zone. You know,
That's tough.
and
And
then out there.
even if you're single, these movies will, give you something to watch on that day while you cry into your chocolates. It's all right.
Dude, it's
if
all
you're
right.
not with someone, you're with yourself.
Mm.
And if you're not treating yourself, you're not doing it right.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm going to start it off with one of my favorites. This movie came out in 2001. It's called Serendipity. It stars Kate Beckinsale and John Cusack, along with Jeremy Piven and a bunch of other really good side characters.
Great cast.
Actors played by or actors playing great side characters. That's what I'm trying to say. It was directed by Peter Chelsom, and I'm not really familiar with him and stuff that he's directed. But this movie, I saw it when I was younger, and it was one of those movies that always kept popping up on like cable and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
man.
he did Hector and the Search for Happiness, Space Between Us, Funny Bones. So he's done a multiple. Oh, he even directed an episode of Psych.
Ah.
I love that show. So to get into what Serendipity is about, basically John Cusack's character and Kate Beckinsale's character meet in New York. They have an amazing night. It's like something out of a fairy tale, like when you have like that first meet cute and start to, realize you're falling in love with this person all in one night. But destiny plays a big role in this film. It's not something I believe in real life, but I really do like it played with in narrative and fiction type stuff. So the woman played by Kate Beckinsale, she gives her number to John Cusack and it blows away. And to her, this is a big sign that, maybe it's not meant to be. And John's character won't let it go. And she ends up saying, okay, I'm going to write my number in a book and I'm going to sell this book to a used bookstore. And if you end up finding it, then call me. Fast forward, they've been in different relationships. She's living on the West Coast. He's still in New York. They're both engaged, but they can't stop thinking about each other. So Kate Beckinsale's character ends up getting a break from her about-to-be marriage, essentially, to go find this guy in New York. And John Cusack's character, with the help of Jeremy Piven, ends up going around and being like, I can't let this go. I can't get married before I figure out if this girl was the right one. And it's just, it's cool how they kind of miss each other on certain things. Like you as the audience kind of see that, like, oh shit, they almost saw each other there. It's like a lot of that kind of stuff. And the whole, like I said, idea of playing with destiny and fate and that kind of thing. It's a cool element to a romantic movie.
Yeah, the story when you told me about it, it really had. I've never seen it, but I was interested right away when you told me the storyline because I thought that was a cool way to play it out through the time. If fate will bring these two back together, which I always enjoy movies like that.
Right. So yeah, that one is definitely one that's worth watching if you're looking for something romantic and a little bit lighter, I would say.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Nothing too serious here.
Right.
Now, my first movie is called A Lot Like Love. It's one of Ashton Kutcher's younger roles right after that 70s show, and he was co-starred by Amanda Peet. This movie was directed by Nigel Cole and written by Colin Patrick Lynch. And I really enjoyed this movie as a younger guy. I found this probably when I was about 15 or so, and maybe like 16, I don't know.
Okay.
Somewhere in the teenage years. And I really enjoyed it. It was like one of my corny, like secret, I enjoyed a romance film type deal, like, but this one has a lot of comedy in it, so it's not just a hard romance film. Ashton Kutcher does a great job of laying on the comedic element of the film, and I've got to say Amanda Peet does as well. And basically, the story starts out with two people hooking up on a plane, two strangers, and they've joined the Mile High Club, and they kind of dabble a little bit. And they just like say goodbye, and then over the course of 7 years, they keep coming in and out of each other's lives in random scenarios.
Huh.
So it's a similar scenario to your movie, but it's a different way of fate working out.
Okay.
So they come back and forth. They're with other people commonly. You see the characters grow individually into like from young adults to adults. And I really enjoyed the whole process of the film, and I thought it was really well written. Again, I haven't watched this in a while. But I'm pretty sure it holds up. I have this movie on DVD and I've watched it a bunch of times.
Nice.
Amount I wouldn't really care to disclose on the podcast, but yeah, no, I would highly recommend A Lot Like Love, and I think girls will be very into this film as well. I mean, it's a very romantic heavy film. So
nice. And I mean, like, I always liked Ashton Kutcher in his film roles, and Amanda Peet, I really enjoyed her from Saving Silverman.
dude, really good. And Steven Silverman, man, such a good film.
Does it have the comedic kind of stuff like from Saving Silverman?
Lightly, not as hard, I would say, because that
Okay.
film's pretty fucking funny when you look into all the jokes and shit. I mean,
Is it close? Is it closer to like Just Married? Because I know that's another like Ashton Kutcher
Married.
one with
That's with Cameron Diaz,
Brittany Murphy.
Brittany Murphy. It's probably pretty close to that one actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
He does a lot around that time.
He did a lot, yeah. Because the one I was thinking about was Cameron Diaz, the one where he was married to Cameron Diaz in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's another one just like it, but. No, yeah, this is an old film, 2005. So this is the beginning of his journey, I think, and that's why I chose this one. It's not after the wave of all the fucking romance films he did,
Right.
This is right after that 70s show, and yeah, I highly recommend it. Check that shit out.
Nice, check that one out. Now the next one, hear me out on this, okay? Don't I'm going to tell you it, and then all you are going to be shaking your head saying I'm trying to fit something in that doesn't fit into the category. I don't want to hear it. Shaun of the Dead. 2004.
Cult classic.
One of my favorite movies of all time. Don't you
movie.
dare tell me it's not a romantic comedy, because this is all about getting the girl. This is a zom-com or zom-rom-com, if you want to put it that way. It's a funny zombie movie about a guy trying to save the girl that he loves from the apocalypse, essentially. It was directed by Edgar Wright, who also directed Baby Driver, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Hot Fuzz, many of the many others. The list just goes on. A Grindhouse fake trailer. Damn, I didn't even realize. And he works very closely with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, who star in this film. Kate Ashfield plays the love interest, Liz. And Simon Pegg's character, Sean, from the title of the film, ends up going and saving her. And I also have such appreciation for this film because it's part of the Coronado trilogy, I think it's called, which is like Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and I think The End of the World is the last one in that. It's a big project that I think Simon Pegg and Nick Frost and Edgar Wright all kind of worked on. It's like I said, it's just one of my favorite movies, and it is a romantic comedy at heart. It's the fact that he's trying to prove that he actually does love his girlfriend, because basically they break up and then everything goes to shit, which I think is a big metaphor too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, life
and
crumbling.
And I can't even I could spend another half hour talking about the way that this film is shot and the fact that it's all a big mirror image of itself.
You didn't even mention Philip yet. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, poor Philip. Got red on you. I got to watch this one again because it's definitely a favorite of mine. If you want to, hey, red also goes with with the Valentine's Day holiday. So there you go. It's another reason to watch Shaun of the Dead on Valentine's.
Hell yeah. I vouch for it. That's a great fucking movie. I love
thank
that
you,
movie.
Matt.
Yeah.
7.9 on IMDb. So.
Ooh, other people like it as well, it seems. Man, the next movie I want to talk about, another classic from my youth, A Knight's Tale, 2001. Heath Ledger in one of his classic roles. I just absolutely love this movie through and through. I know to this day it holds up, and if you say otherwise, I'm not with you, okay? I'm just not with you.
The soundtrack alone on this film,
dude, so good.
Amazing.
So good. I mean, there's so many good, which was interesting because they worked modern songs into a medieval element, which is not common. They usually don't do that kind of thing, and I really enjoyed that. There was modern songs to amp up the relationship between the main characters. Heath Ledger, Shannon Sossaman. Very, very, very well done. I love this
Boys
film.
are back in town, baby.
Dude, the boys are back in town. Thank you. I was trying to think of all the fucking songs in it. So good. The gentleman that directed it, Brian Helgeland. Sorry.
Helgeland?
He did Man on Fire. Another one of my favorite fucking movies. Dude, I love that fucking movie with Denzel. LA Confidential, 42. I mean, this guy's list goes on and on of things that he's written or directed. And it just shows in this film. This film was a complete masterpiece for me, honestly. I loved Heath Ledger's role. Basically, he's a young squire who's he's almost a peasant. He has no royalty at all, but he gets with a crew after his lord dies that he works for. Basically, he's like working for a lord who does jousting, and his lord dies, and he gets a crew of guys. One of them forges papers to make him a legit knight, basically putting him in the place of his old lord, and he fakes his way through tournaments all over the lands of Europe, and makes his way into like notoriety. People like start noticing him and shit, and then it gets unwound that he's not really a fucking knight. And meanwhile, while this is all going on, he's building a relationship with a princess. So he's like way out of his fucking league.
Out of his league.
Yeah. And so she
Heath
finds
Ledger,
out.
man, is amazing as this main
Dude.
character.
You can see the evolution from him going to the Joker, because he always gets, the Joker is always like going to be the role that's like his most known. But like you could see like his evolution as an actor. Like he just is crazy in all of his films.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's believable, which is the best part. I think that's what I enjoy the most is actually Heath Ledger. Not even just a great storyline and all of that, but
and I have to say some of the choreography in that film is really good too. There's a lot of really good dance numbers and stuff. From
dude,
what I
the
remember.
dance numbers, yes, dude, the dance numbers are really good. On top of the fight scenes are really well put off as well. Jousting is really done. It looks fucking great. Yeah, between the music, the actors and actresses, and the fucking cinematic value. I mean, this is a great movie all around. It got a 6.9 on IMDb, which I mean, it's not a 7.9 like Shaun of the Dead, but it's not that level of cult madness.
I'm surprised. Yeah,
it's still a high level. 6.9 is very high on IMDb for a film these days. I feel like they don't, unless it's a box office killer, they don't really fucking give a high rating.
It's a sleeper. If people haven't seen it, it's a good a time as any on Valentine's Day.
Definitely, yeah.
I would say the love interest with the princess it's a cool way of playing it out.
It's a great storyline, and of course, everything works out in the end, like every other film. So it's cool to see it all wrap up.
All right, so I got one more for you, and we're going. I'm sorry, it's another John Cusack movie. We're talking High Fidelity, done a few years before the movie Serendipity that I had recommended. For actually a year before. So this was when he was, pumping them out. And High Fidelity is a romantic comedy where John Cusack's character is examining his past relationships. He's the record store owner, and he makes lists. He's like a compulsive list maker, and he's makes a list of his top 5 breakups. And then he goes back and visits each of the women that he was in the relationship with in order to gain perspective on why it ended, and like what is it about him that like he needed to improve, I guess. From maybe he's probably not looking at it from that perspective. Maybe that's my own take from it, is like he's looking at it more as like replaying the greatest hits. But like I've always seen it through this film through the perspective of like what did you learn and how did you grow from being with that person, and what did you take out on the other side that you wouldn't have otherwise?
I like it. It's a deep concept.
Yeah, and hey, you got John Cusack, you got young Jack Black, which is hilarious. He's one of the people in the record store. You got Todd Luiso, who's the other record store worker. Who else? Catherine Zeta-Jones, Joan Cusack, his sister, is actually in it. I think that's his sister, unless their name is just exactly the same. I think they are. Tim Robbins is in it. You got it's a great cast, and the whole concept of like him being obsessed with like the music and the lists and playing out his past relationships, I've always thought was a cool plot to see played out in a romantic comedy, because it's always about the relationship you're in these movies and not the ones that you've been in. So it's cool to see a character reflecting on that kind of stuff.
True. Yeah. The hidden history of the characters, what led them to like who they are today, those love interests. Yeah.
It's almost like here's the character, and I'm going to build it in front of you.
Yeah, which is really cool. I mean, you can't get more in depth with character creation than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, they are making a new series called High Fidelity based off of the film, I'm guessing. But this is going to be a sort of gender swap version of High Fidelity. And it's on Hulu, 10 episodes. It says it's coming out this year. And Zoe Kravitz plays the title character, or the lead character in this one. And I'm guessing it's going to be the same concept, because it says a fan of music, pop culture, and top 5 list, runs a local record store in her hometown, just like John Cusack in the movie. And it's Oh, okay. So High Fidelity was a novel at one point in time. My uncultured swine ass doesn't know these things. But yeah, so it went from a book to a John Cusack movie, and now 20 years later, they're doing it as a Hulu series. So I'm interested. I'm probably going to watch that as well. But I would suggest definitely giving the movie a shot before jumping into the series.
Yeah, man. I definitely want to check this one out because I haven't seen it at all.
You would love it.
Yeah,
you would
it
love
sounds
it
like
as
something
someone
I'd
who
be
likes
digging.
music.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that one out. Now, my last one involves music as well. My film is called Drive, and this is honestly my favorite film of all time. This is the film that is notorious in the synthwave community, which I'm very into, and it has an ensemble of of music backing every scene, which is amazing, including Kavinsky, which was one of my biggest loves in youth. Like, he was the first guy to come out with fucking retro wave fucking craziness, and of course, it stars one of my favorite actors, Ryan Gosling. Man, I know he's not just for the ladies, people. He's not just for the ladies. Come on, I love this guy. He's in so many fucking films. He's amazing in every one of them, honestly. And Drive is basically exactly what you'd expect. There's a lot of driving in it. It's definitely one of those getaway movies, but there's a love story built into it between this guy who's been a loner his whole life. He's a Hollywood stuntman and a mechanic at the same time. He's not making crazy money. He's not wicked famous, but he works in Hollywood. So it's Ryan Gosling and Carey Mulligan, but the guy he works for, nice little cameo, Bryan Cranston. What's up? A little Breaking Bad in there. I really enjoyed Bryan Cranston's character in this as well. He plays something different than what you've ever seen Bryan Cranston play, like a just pathetic con artist type deal. He's just always looking to get money out of people, even the people that he's closest to.
Okay.
So it plays into the movie of kind of screwing this young guy, Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling's trying to help out his neighbor this is the romance interest. They slowly build up a relationship, and apparently, her boyfriend is away in jail in the beginning of the film, and she has a child with that guy. And Ryan Gosling and her start, hanging out and stuff, building a relationship. And then that guy comes home. And that guy comes home. Everything's weird, for a little bit. And then he gets into some trouble, and he's got some debt over his head. And Ryan Gosling comes out of the apartment, which they both live in the same apartment complex. And he finds that boyfriend all beaten up next to the kid. And the kid's sitting there fucking tormented, watched his dad just get beat to shit by some gangsters and whatever.
No shit.
So basically, that brings the heartening part to where Ryan Gosling wants to help out. So he's trying to figure out why this guy's in the scenario, and he's okay, well, how do we pay off your debt? What does the guy want?
Okay.
So it gets into this whole crime, a big job type deal, a big crime job, and they have to do some dirty, really, to make everything okay for this guy with the crime boss that he's working for.
Okay.
And they're gonna rob a pawn shop. So it's a whole crazy heist movie built with romance.
It was a little hard to follow.
It's hard to explain everything that goes on in Drive because there's a lot.
Okay.
And full of action, but yet it's not one of those movies that you're going to show your girl and she's going to be this is the stupidest shit ever. There's going to be a lot of great romance pieces to it. And this is one of the best movies I could put out there for. I think that both people, would enjoy in a relationship, or whatever, no matter what your view is, I think anybody could find something in Drive to enjoy.
Okay, cool.
And very action packed, very music heavy, like I was saying. And who doesn't like Ryan Gosling? Come on.
There you go. So there's 6 films. I mean, if there's one you don't like, you got 5 others to choose from. I'll run them down for you again. We got Serendipity, A Lot Like Love, Shaun of the Dead, A Knight's Tale, High Fidelity, and Drive.
Check them out.
All good ones worth snuggling up and watching on the 14th. Now, we're going to get into a little game that's also Valentine's Day related. But before we do that, we'll take a quick break here.
This episode is brought to you in part by hemp-cbd.com.
Hemp-CBD was founded in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with the mission to provide the best products in the industry. Hemp-CBD has created a one-stop shop for tons of CBD products, such as tinctures, edibles, topicals, pre-rolls, vape, and pet products.
The products carried by Hemp-CBD are sourced from an organic hemp that's grown in the United States, lab tested, and consists of CBD isolate, which is the purest form of CBD. This testing ensures that their products contain CBD and no other cannabinoids like THC.
Head over to hemp-cbd.com and use promo code SLACKER for a 20% discount at checkout.
That's hemp-cbd.com, promo code SLACKER.
Yeah, right, bitch.
And challenge each other in a sort of Price is Righty kind of style thing here, where we list some items that you could get a significant other for Valentine's Day, and we have to guess whether or not the value of those items are above or below a certain number.
It's really like we're just constantly playing the showcase element of Prices Right.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
Except
realistically.
we're going low or high. We're giving you a showcase. You got to tell us if it's above or below. And you got some for me. I got some for you. We're both playing in this. We're both in the hot seat. So let me go first. Say I got you a 2020 Corvette, and then I filled that Corvette with 100 bottles of La Marque Prosecco. How much do you think that would be lower or higher than $80,000?
How many bottles?
We're talking 100 bottles of Prosecco. This thing's filled to the brim. I don't know.
What are we filling with it again? I forgot.
We're filling a 2020 Corvette with 100 bottles of
higher.
Prosecco. You're saying it's going to be higher than 80,000?
Higher.
I'm sorry, that's actually lower. It would be 61,300. You suck. You got $58,900 for the Corvette and $1,247 for the 100 bottles of Prosecco.
My God.
It might even be less because that's like per bottle price. So you might get a deal if you get 100 of them.
Man. All right. So I'm down one.
All right.
And then when that showcase, God damn it, dude. I wanted
that would have
one.
been a nice one. Driving
Corvette.
around all drunk.
Enough booze to be drunk all fucking.
Imagine driving a Corvette full of Prosecco.
Dude. Ugh.
Spilling on the road.
I was going to say one fucking hard turn and all those bottles break, dude. Never getting that smell out of that vet.
It's going to level off real quick.
Man. Well, I got one for you. What if I was to get you a Versace purse? Really, this is for the ladies out there. I mean, let's be real. If you were to get your lady a Versace purse, the average priced middle-sized one,
okay,
full sour diesel. And I'm talking the weed.
Ooh.
All right.
Full? So how many ounces of sour diesel is that?
All right. So what I calculated in was 25/8 packs.
25.
So they're in the bag. Yeah. They're in the bags, like eighths.
Oh, prepackaged eighths.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to just be like,
Versace
there's a fucking
bag.
3-ounce bag stuffed in there,
A Versace bag full
So
of
they're individual
eighths of
eighths.
sour diesel.
Yeah.
Is it lower or higher than what's my number here?
All right. So is it lower or higher than $3,000?
Oh. It's got to be higher. That sounds like a deal if it's under.
It's under, dude. It's
What?
under. You're wrong.
Oh, I know what my girlfriend's getting.
I went median, and what I did was I calculated out the all right, so I calculated out the purse at $750.
Okay.
That was a median Versace.
Right.
I mean, you can go crazy with them if you really want to go. You can get the $10,000 Versace, but you're a dumbass,
Right.
or you're rich as fuck. Which cool. And then the diesel I calculated out to $1,500. That's $60 an eighth.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay taxes and everything too. So.
Yeah. So we're looking at $2,250 altogether, said and done.
That's not bad. That's not
bad, dude. For a Versace purse
we're giving some people ideas, I think.
That's a lot of weed,
Okay. All right. So this one might be out of everyone's price range. I'm just going to put that out there right
I
here.
got one of those.
Matt, if someone wants their own island in British Columbia,
Oh, God.
and they want to have a cookout, but they want to have something a little exotic. They don't want to have just like regular old like
Island
T-bone
pigs
steaks. We're talking 1 ton of prime ostrich meat. So I'm getting you a private island, and you can have an ostrich cookout on this island, is this gonna run you more than or less than $100,000 for a private island?
It's got to be more. It's got to be more.
1 ton of ostrich meat. You're saying more?
Yeah.
You're right. It's gonna run you a little bit more. It's gonna run you $138,900. The island is $105,000.
Not bad.
Yeah, you can buy Sweet Island up in British Columbia. It's a 3-acre island, and
3 acres. That's not bad. That's a little bit of space.
and then 1 ton of ostrich meat is going to cost you almost $34,000.
I wonder what it tastes like because it definitely can't be
Yeah.
chicken.
You can get 16 ounces at a time, so I had to figure out a ton, divide that by 16, and multiply that by
The
price
cost.
of.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot of ostrich meat.
That's a lot of fucking ostrich.
It's
Nobody
a
needs
lot
that
of-
much.
That's a lot
nobody
of
needs
dead
that.
ostriches.
Dude, it's a fucking massacre, dude. All right. So say you want to hook your lady up with her own little space, all right?
Okay.
But you're not just going to give her own little space. We're going to give her own little space full of puppies. We're talking about a she shed full of puppies. What's it going to run you, all right? Is it going to be 6 puppies? I put 6 puppies. We're not neglecting
Okay.
the animals. It's kind of tight, but there's
I was
there's room.
wondering. I didn't know if this was to the brim.
We're not
puppies
double
on
stacking. We're not going
puppies.
3D. They're not stacked like cheerleaders up and top.
As many as we could fit.
I closed the door, locked it, and I opened the roof, and then I just started chucking puppies in there.
Just throwing them in there.
Every
Fill that
inch
thing.
filled with fucking puppies, dude.
So 6?
6 puppies and a she shed. Is it higher or lower than 8,000?
Did you go purebred puppies?
Yeah, I went. So what you pay for a puppy from AKC, not like fucking. It's not a shelter dog.
Okay.
Because if
That's
you're
gotta be-
doing this, you're not buying rescues. Let's be real.
It's got to be higher. It's got to be higher. Because puppies cost a lot.
We're tied. It's not that much higher though. I put in the price for the she shed. Now we're talking. That's a shed with maybe $1,500 for furnishing. You know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's a she shed. It's not a regular shed.
Right. You
And
got
then 6 puppies, $1,500 a pop. We're
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
9,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking
puppies
12,000.
alone.
Dude, you get a she shed full of puppies, $12,000. Boom.
It's
What a
not
deal.
Bad gift.
What a deal.
Not a bad gift at all. All right, let's
We're
get
even,
on to
1-1.
number 3. This could make or break depending. All right. So you're a man of class. You're a man who likes nice things. What about a
You know it, baby.
15th century German full suit of armor with sword?
God.
With sword. But not only that, you're a man who also loves 90s movies. So you're also going to get a cameo from Steve Guttenberg, actor from Police Academy and 3 Men and a Baby. You're going to get a suit of armor, a sword, and
Put Gutenberg in the armor?
Guttenberg. That would run you a lot more.
To put him in the armor?
Probably, because this is just a cameo. He's going to send you a video. He's
Oh.
going to say, "Hey, Matt, nice suit of armor. I'm Steve Guttenberg. Nice to see
You got me. I forgot about the cameo bullshit.
Nice
Okay.
to see your sword is so sharp." So,
I thought you meant like a film cameo. I was like, what?
no,
It's going to cost money to get that motherfucker.
This is a personal video message from Steve
Gutenberg's
Guttenberg
probably $300 or $400
and
on
your suit of
cameo.
armor. So, is it higher or lower than $3,000?
Higher. What did you say the armor was?
It's a 15th century German full suit of armor with sword.
Okay. I hope you did your research because armor of that era usually goes for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I can guarantee you that it's definitely higher.
It's probably a replica. You're saying higher?
It's a replica?
It's probably a replica. If you're saying those goes
Still
for
higher.
hundreds of thousands,
I mean, to get a suit of armor, to get a shitty fucking Kylo Ren mask, that's like movie quality is $750. You're talking suit of armor replica? We gotta be higher than $3,000.
lower.
What? You're buying Party
You are
City
wrong,
armor,
sir.
bro. That is plastic.
I'll send you a link. The armor would cost
Please
you,
do.
Actually, the armor
Also,
costs most of it.
Catch
It's
us both
20
in armor on the next episode of American Slacker Podcast.
That might be our next Patreon goal. $27.83. So $2,783 for the suit of armor.
How much is
And
Gutenberg costing for the fucking cameo?
then $150.
Not bad, dude. We need to get
It's
him
not
for.
bad.
We got to get him to say something for American Slacker. Damn.
There you go.
Fuck. Man, I was for sure it was gonna be more. All right. Well, let's finish it out high class for real. All right. Now you're looking to have a nice little evening with your lady, or maybe your guy. No preference, whatever you're into, you know. And you wanna hear some tunes. You wanna get a little private show going on. Maybe you, your lady, your guy, your friends, nice little group of people, right?
Okay.
You want Justin Timberlake.
Oh fuck.
You want to rent out a theater, obviously. You're not going to have Justin Timberlake come to your house to do a show, right?
No,
so we're going to have JT. You're going to rent him. You're going to rent a venue as well. All right? Not just a little shitty club, like a nice little amphitheater.
Okay.
You know, decent size. I'm talking 500, 2,000 probably seat.
Damn.
Higher or lower than $500,000?
So a personal Justin Timberlake concert is essentially what you're getting.
One personal Justin Timberlake concert.
You said higher or lower than
$500,000.
$500,000. Lower. I'm gonna say lower.
You sure?
I'm gonna say lower.
It's too late. You can't. You're wrong, dude. Believe it or not, just in 2014 alone, and his price has gone up. Justin charged $1.3 million for an acoustic set at somebody's house.
Oh my God.
An acoustic set, dude. Showed up with a guitar and just $1.3 million. It was for the guy that had just sold Coca-Cola, actually. The CEO,
That's how you celebrate
owner,
selling a soda company, I guess.
Yeah, it was right when he fucking sold Coca-Cola. He made like, $400 million off the deal, and he was like, fuck it, let's have a party and have Justin Timberlake.
Holy Christ.
And so I looked on some like celebrity, where you can hire celebrities for events and shit.
Right.
And it said it was at least $1 million to get him.
Wow.
He was on a list with like Taylor Swift and Madonna and shit.
That's
there's very few people that charge that much. Most people, you're going to spend a couple $100,000. You can get Three Doors Down. You can get fucking Maroon 5 and Adam Levine for $400,000.
$400,000?
Dude, J-Tim, millions, baby.
Millions. That's insane.
It's
wow.
insane.
So we leave this in a tie. We didn't have anything set up for
dude.
a tiebreaker.
We didn't, dude.
How about if the listeners send us some stuff? Me and Matt will both separately put in our own bids, and whoever gets the most right will reveal.
Ooh,
That's if you guys do it.
First listener that does it. The first listener. But
if we tie again, then we're gonna have to do more than one.
True, that is true. All right, a couple people send in some shit. Match these questions.
Hit us up on Instagram. That's the easiest way.
Interactive. You get to figure out who wins the game by your own question.
We've never done it this way, but I think it's the only way.
I think it's the only way. Yeah. Well, man, it's just if one thing came out of this game, it's just that it makes me sick how much Justin Timberlake makes on a single appearance.
My takeaway is that I can get Steve Guttenberg for pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, I like that positive. Maybe we should be positive. Gutenberg, $150 on Cameo. Get at him. I haven't seen him in a while. He might need that money. I don't know. What's Gutenberg up to? Did he spend his fortune from the police academy? I don't know.
I was surprised he was up there. It was really, really
That's how Cameo is, though. You'd be surprised a lot of the people that are on there. You're like, wait, what? O.J. Simpson? Okay.
I don't want his.
Well, I want him to hold a knife if he's going to tell me anything, first off. Well, this is that point of the show where we thank every single one of you for tuning in. And, hey, check out that YouTube if you're not watching us on YouTube. If you are, hey. That was a secret message from us to the you would have to see that to understand it.
You have to go to the YouTube to see.
You got to see that. That was sign language at its finest.
Don't do that in public, though.
Definitely don't do that
I'm just
in public.
suggesting.
Yeah, my dick was out. I'm just gonna say it. Watch the YouTube. You get to see it. All right. Hey, if you want to get at me, MWG Media on Instagram, Matty G from HP. Somebody come catch these hands, please. I'm dying. I am putting a challenge out there. Nobody's answering me. I've said it for weeks now. I can't just beat up on Landers all the time. I need somebody else
to fight someone else.
Where do the people get at you? How do they find the great Landers?
I can make men follow me to hell.
Where's that? Where's that hell?
At Landers the Plane.
Exactly. All right. I like it. All right, people. Keep it real. That's all I'm going to say. All right? Keep it real. And until next time, that's it.
There you go.
We smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit, or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
We're smoking America. We passing America. I'm mapping America.